Hello everyone, happy Tuesday evening, and I'm Tony Embry, and I'm coming to you from my Riverview Creative Studio in New Bern, North Carolina, and tonight is Tuesday Stampin' Chips with Tony. You like that little side? I just made that. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm so happy to have you, and so tonight we're gonna do some fun things, I think, and we're gonna have a whole lot of shaking going on because I am actually going to use the die machine, and it shakes the table. So I apologize in advance that there will be a little shaking, but anyway, so I'm going to show you. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to use our embossing folders. And with the embossing folders, we're going to use ink and embossing folders. Hi, Vicky. So we're going to use ink and embossing folders. If you haven't done that before, we're going to have a fun time doing that tonight. This one is in the catalog. I checked to make sure. This one as well. So anyway, we're going to do those two. I've been doing a lot of them, testing them out, trying them out to see how they look. So these are some of the ones that I've done, just trying them out. But then this one actually has white on it, so it's pretty subtle when you look at it. There's white, but I like the look of it, but it's a little light. It's just you could just tell a little bit, which I kind of like because it kind of would really look good if I put like snowflakes on it. And this would is another one. This one is the brick. It's kind of cool, isn't it? I was trying to come up with something to do on it. This one is kind of funky. The way it kind of looks abstract, the way that it came out. It's still this one, but I kind of like it now that it's it's dried a little bit. It's kind of, I don't know, I kind of like it. So I have to figure out what I want to put on it. But anyway, I like that one. They look a little different till they're dry. And then this is the other one. This one has Highland Heather on it. So depending on which side, so you can see the reverse. So depends on what side you put the ink on. Okay, so this one is not this one. This is the Parisian one. But when you look at it, you can see that this one goes in, and this one is an outie. See? So it depends on which side you put the ink on as to how it happens, how it works. And I'll show it to you. You'll see the difference. But yeah, you can see it when you look at these two. So anyway, this one is a smaller one, and so of course the color didn't take right there. So you could cut this off. But anyway, this one as well. This is red, and then I put a darker color behind it. So that's that one. And then here's what I did, one in green. It's kind of very bold looking, but anyway, I was playing around to see if I could find one that I really fell in love with. But I'll show you the cards that I did. So this one, you could tell that I wanted to order a brayer, and they're been out of stock, so I need to try to see if I can get one again. But with using when I did this, I used two different colors, obviously, but I didn't want to transfer color because I just put the color down with my stamp pad. So I didn't want to transfer the color from the yellow to blue or blue to yellow. But if you had a brayer, you could put the color, you could do more colors on it if you wanted to, like a sunset or whatever. So anyway, but I kind of like the way the color behind, because it doesn't touch. And so I kind of like the way it is, but I used the blue and Bumblebee. I think I used a Bumblebee on that, I think. And then at the bottom, I just, hey Rory, at the bottom, I just tore a piece of paper, so you could see where I tore it, because I wanted to have so I could see the deer coming up out of the valley. So this looks lower than that. And so I put this one on, and then I had a cool idea to put this one behind it so it would add more depth. I don't know if you think it does or not, but it kind of has a little bit of depth to be. So anyway, so that's one card that I did, actually all the way through. I'll put that one here. And then this one isn't as successful, but this is the brick wall, and I used gray paper, basic gray paper, I think. And then I used Night of Navy on it, and I like the color, but then I embossed the chest set. I don't know if you can tell, but because it's a little bumpy, the chest set, it's kind of the way you have to turn it to see it. But anyway, I did the chest pieces on there, so it's okay. But I would have liked to done it a little differently. But anyway, was it, you know how it is, it's an experiment. So that's that. And then this is my favorite one. So this one is done with this embossing folder, which is like a tin ceiling. And so then I cut out from the Forever Fern and the Forever Flourishing dies, so that I cut some different ones, stamped them and cut out different ones. And then this is the new Celebration label dies. And so I'll show you what those look like. They're really cool. These are in the new catalog. So anyway, so this is how, let's see, this is how they go. So you could do like a whole page with them. But anyway, so that's this set. So I used these two and layered them. Anyway, so that's that. They're called Celebration labels. So that's that. I haven't been using too much of the new stuff, as I was still trying to do some of the older stuff. But anyway, this one, I really like the way it looks. So you can see that I did two colors. They're both dimensionals behind them. These do not have dimensionals, but I put the dimensionals in such a way that I could poke these little leaves and things down in between it. Hi, Sadie. Hi, Nita. So I love, this is my favorite one, I think, because I put the peak in and the bumblebee. Yeah, anyway, so there's those things. So tonight we're not going to make any cards, but because it's tips and tricks night. So I'm just going to, well, we're going to do something, but we're just not going to make cards. So what I need to do is bring my cutter over, cut some paper, because I forgot to do it. In all my haste, I didn't cut anything. So I want to cut some little paper. Let's see. So these are just going to do, I'm going to assume these are fronts, okay? So I'm going to do 5 1/4 by 4. And so I'm going to do some, some color too, but I just wanted some colored paper, but I wanted a couple white ones. So it's kind of funny. Okay, so 5 1/4. Hope you guys had a good day. I had a couple things that I wanted to do. And my husband's been home because he couldn't work because someone got the COVID, so he's been off work for over a week. So it's been kind of nice. I'm used to being home by myself most of the time. So at least during the day and stuff when he's working. So it's kind of nice. And we got to work on a lot of honeydew stuff and things like that, which was nice. I'll be right there. I'm just gonna get some, I apologize for not being ready, but I mean, I am ready, but I'm not ready. So I wanted to be, I forgot about these. So anyway, but I wanted to do this technique because I haven't played with it very much. And you know, there's just so many things that, as you know, in Stampin' Up, it is demonstrators. There's absolutely so many different things you could do with cards. And so it's great that I'm glad I'm doing the Tuesdays, because now it kind of forces me to, you know, to really spend some time doing some of this stuff, which I love to do, but I'm focused on it. And, so yeah, it's kind of fun. I love doing something new and showing you guys something new. Anyway, so I don't think I've done the die machine on computer yet. I mean on camera yet. So that'll be a first. Okay, so I got some colors out. So first, so I want to show you. So on one side, you could feel it. One side, when you put the ink on, it's going to be raised. So with the other side, it's going to be indented. It's kind of hard to see which one it is until I actually do it. But then I'll be like, okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to do purple though. I think I have the highlight heather out here for a reason. But if you had a brayer, you wouldn't have to do what I'm doing because you could just roll it on. So, okay, so we'll do it this way. See how it goes on? Is that cool? And I don't need to do the whole thing, but because I'm doing smaller paper, but I kind of like to. So we'll see what this one is, and then if we want to, we can do the other side. So, I think I'll put it on white first, and then maybe I'll do it on gray next. Okay, so I'm going to put it down. So you don't want it to move. So that's the thing. So when you put it down, you kind of want to lock it in place really easy. And then, okay, let's see. We'll move it over here. You guys can see. This is a thicker one, so I think I could just use one plate with it. See, it's always confusing to me. I have so many different size ones, and I'm sure you do too. Let's see if this is the right one. It's always a mystery. Yeah, sorry. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Darty. I'm sorry if it's shaky. I'm going to go back through it one more time. I tried to go really gently so it doesn't shake too much, but I know it will. And then I want to make it so that it doesn't move. Okay, I'll move this over for a second. Okay. Because when it moves, it makes a little mess. Okay. Voila. What do you think? Kind of cool? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So this one, I'm going to wipe this off really good. So this one you see more white, right? But we'll do the other side. And we'll see the difference. I want you guys to, I mean, this is all about learning something different. So I want to do this so you can see it. So we have this one, and then we'll do the other side. And do it again, just to see how they look. I like to compare them. But it's kind of a really cool, it's a really cool technique. Oh, I like this one already. I haven't even done it. Of course, you know, purple is my favorite color. So, you know, if I have to choose a color, it's going to be purple. I was trying to decide. So we were, Stairs at home. So my mom said she wanted to buy some cards for me. And I said, Bob, no. I said, you could have some cards. I'll send you some cards, but you're not buying cards for me. She said, but I don't want them. I said, okay. But I said, I'm going to send you some cards. And I said, because I make a lot of cards. And I said, you know, there's no way Darren and I could possibly send all these cards out that I make. So anyway, long story short, we did that yesterday, or Sunday and yesterday. And we have like, not a large box, but like a medium-sized box. And so we sent a bunch of cards to his mom, a bunch of cards to my mom, and a bunch of cards to his aunt, one of his aunts, or his aunt, only surviving aunt, I think. No, he has two aunts. One lives with his mom. So we said, they live together. So we sent those, and he took them to the post office yesterday. So it was probably more than 100 cards. I don't know, it was a lot of cards that we had, but I was so happy as he was like not wanting to part with some of the cards, and I'm like, Darren, we can't possibly send all these cards to anyone. Okay, this is not working for me. Okay, try this one. See, it's proof that walking and chewing gum just doesn't work for me. I'm telling you, two things at once just is hard for me. Okay, so anyway, I'm trying to talk, but so I was so happy that I had like 3 huge boxes full of cards, and so we got rid of them. I still have a lot of cards, but I don't have nearly as many as I did. So I put this over here again. So if you haven't tried this technique, it's really fun. It just gives you one more option. It's messy, but Okay, so we're going to compare these two. See, look at that. I like them both, but you can see how this one has more dark in the background. I mean, I use the same color ink, but this one has more white showing through. Well, it's actually no, it's white. Yeah. What do you think? Cool. Thanks. I love it too. Already. Okay, so that's that. So I'm going to set this aside because it's messy. I'm not going to worry with it. And then we'll do this one. I'll set this one over here, up here, and then we'll try to do this one here. Because with this one I'm going to do blue. We'll do both of them again, but this time I'm going to do them on gray, I think. So this one is the background. So when I start stamping it, this is going to show. No, this one's going to show the background. So I can feel this background is raised. And this one, the tree, is here. So I'm going to do this one first. Let's see. Let's see what we're going to do. And this color is balmy blue. And I just like experimenting with the different colors. So that's what's fun about it. Experimenting. Because, you know, just gives you one more option. I mean, I like to just make this particular one. I love just doing it with white, you know, and just not putting any color on it because I like the way it looks. And then put like red birds or something on it. We'll see. Just with this. Okay. All right, so we're going to do gray this time. Do it. This one's fairly thin, so I think this one is going to take two. There are two different thicknesses of plates, which is why I'm having a little bit of trouble because I'm just not paying attention. Okay, hopefully you can see without shaking too much. That. So tonight is techniques. Tomorrow night we'll do a project, and I have a couple ideas, but I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do for the project. But you know, it'll be fun. It'll be something fun. So I'll do that. Okay. Don't move. Look at that. Isn't that funky? So that color against the gray, it almost looks nighttime, doesn't it? But see, the trees are what you see. They're gray. I like that one. Okay, so let me see. It just gives you lots of options. Maybe this is a great embossing folder for like Christmas cards, you know, like woodsy seeds. And that's what I did with the deer. The deer one was put that on there because it just looks like it's just really cool looking. Okay, so we'll do the other side and we'll see how this one's gonna look. So this tree. Eventually I'll mark the side that I like with a marker or something, the one I like the best. Because otherwise I won't know. Okay. Let's see. I might do another one with two different colors just so you guys can see how I did it. That was kind of fun. Okay, here we go. Make sure you can still see because this thing is moving. Okay. I finally found our camcorder, our little camcorder that we bought for our wedding, and then we moved, and so I couldn't find it. So I'm going to start using that for some of my videos because it does HD, and it'll give me a little more options than my iPhone have. So I'm going to start doing that, but I got to practice with it first to make sure I know what I'm doing. So it might be a couple weeks where I start doing that. Let's see. Okay, so this one is a little different looking, but I kind of like the way it looks. It kind of reminds me of how the other one did. cool? I know, Vicky, I like that one with the trees. It's my favorite. But this one's funky. I kind of like the funky look. Yeah, it'd be really fun. Anyway, so those two. I think what I'm going to do now is set this one aside and... Oh no, I'm going to clean this one because I want to do the double technique on it. Show you how I did that before. Not that you can't figure it out, but I've got time. We've got time. We have time. This is really fun to me. Okay, so that's good enough, I think. So let me get out of yellow. Which yellow do we want to use? Oh, it's kind of bright. Let's use the daffodil yellow if I can find it. Daffodil yellow, and then we'll use a different blue. Let's see. Oh, I think I'll do something different. I think I'll do like an orange or something. Yellow. Yeah, I think I'll do these two. Mango. Okay, so this was the one I did the first time, I think. This is the tree. So this is the trees that stand up. This is the one I want to do, I think. Or not. No, I want to do this one. I want to do this one. Okay, I'm indecisive. Okay, so I have white. Okay, so first I'm going to do, this is a darker color. It's Mango Melody, so I'm going to do this one down here. This. So it'll be almost like a sunset, right? This one. Now, if you had a brayer, you could bray like another color across the middle, right? But I'm going to be really careful because I don't want to get yellow on my other one. I'm going to leave a little bit of space there. You see that? Isn't that cool? Okay. Put a piece of white paper on. We'll see how it turns out. It's kind of funky. This one's really thin. Okay. Try not to shake it too much. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Sandy. Thanks for joining. Sorry about the shaking. Got this machine going. Okay. Let's see how this one looks. See how it turns out. Ooh, that's kind of funky too. But see, if you had a brayer that you could put another color in so you wouldn't get that white line. But yeah, it's kind of cool looking. And when it dries, it'll be a little different. It dries a little lighter than this. So it'll dry a little bit lighter, but anyway. So I'll go back over everything that we've done so far. So we did this wood, which is two colors, and I did it, bring them together. These are the opposite sides of the trees. So this wood is, you can see that it goes into the trees, and then this wood, the trees pop out in the background. So that's one side, this is the other side of it. And then we did both sides of this one, which is the tin ceiling. And I don't know, I like them both, so I don't really know. I mean, I could see using them both because they're both really nice looking. I just don't know which one I would, I mean, it would just depend on which card you wanted to do with it. And then all these other ones that I did earlier, this one is like the, it's like this one. This one's like that one. This is my favorite of those two, I think. And then I didn't do a card. I did this one, but I'm not really happy with the dark color, so I think I want to try like because this is used red. I wanted to see what it would look like on a dark one, and so I used the green on this one. So it's kind of interesting. experimenting. This one, of course, isn't as big anyway, so you'd have to cut that one down anyway, but I kind of like that. And then this is the Parisian one, and this is, again, I did one on each side of it so you could see the difference. This is obviously my favorite one, I think, but I like the reverse, but, you know, it just depends on, you know, your thing. And this one I kind of like because it's kind of funky looking. I do like that funky look to it. I don't know. And then the brick wall, this one I used Magenta Madness over gray cardstock, and I thought it was kind of cool. I was thinking about, it would be good to put, like, you know, some of those big letters that we have. It would be kind of good to put, like, because it would almost look like graffiti, so you could, you know, put something really cool on this wall, and stand out. It'd be really cool that way. So I like this one. And then this one, I don't remember what color I used on this one, but it's very vanilla paper. But I like this one. And then this one I used white, and it's kind of interesting how the white, but I like it. It would be pretty on a Christmas card. And then I could, like, do little white snow things on it maybe. And then maybe a little bunny or something, a hill and a bunny. I don't know. And then I'll show you the cards that I did for those that came in after I started. I'll show you the cards that I did. So this one I did with the navy blue wall. I'm not happy with the way this chest set came out with it, but because it has a little bit more texture, but I like the effect of the blue, well, the gray, Night of Navy on that. So that was an experiment. And then this one I did with the tree. And so this was the one I did with the two colors. And so it has a little bit of vanilla, very vanilla back there. And then, of course, this is just a torn piece of paper. And I just sponged on some colors that did that. And then I put this deer on, because I wanted the deer to look like he was coming up from out of the bottom, you know, coming up a hill. And so that I put his buddy with him behind him. So his buddy could do that. So this is kind of a masculine card, or for an animal lover, but I kind of like that one. So that's that one. And then this one I did with the tin ceiling. And so I really like this one. And this one has the celebration label dies in it. And so these are two of them. So I like that. And these are all on dimensionals. And then these are these little leaves. These things are all cut out. Bumblebee and Jade and Magenta Madness. This one is I think this one is the brown. The guide is gone. The cinnamon cider. I think that's what that one is. It could be the terracotta tile. I don't remember because I had them all out. But anyway, but this is Cajun Craze, this particular, because so is the card. So I did the card. I haven't had Cajun Craze out since last fall, I don't think. But anyway, I love it. So that's my other one. So anyway, thank you for joining me. And I will be again back with tomorrow night with Wind Down Wednesday. And we'll do a fun project. And so I appreciate you guys tuning in. And I hope you'll have a wonderful day tomorrow. And God bless you. And I'll see you again. Good night.